Okay, these are the questions from the internets. Ben Williams, 869, says, Zach, would you be funny without your beard? Like Samson, you get your power from your beard?
It's true, but when I shave my beard, I look like a fat Jodie Foster.
You don't. You do not. You're just making a joke. Is there any way to neutralize the influence of the Iowa caucus on presidential primaries? Oh, what is a better alternative? You know what? There should, yeah, that would be great.
It's the reason that he looks like a fat Jodie Foster from all the corn that they pump into our food to get Iowa, you know? It's all Iowa's fault. That's why that's why there's corn everywhere. Are you kidding me? I'm not even kidding.
But that is true. Yes, you're right.
Has Iowa picked a winner in the last few presidential elections? They're always picking the crazy.
They just pick the guy that makes sure that we subsidize corn.
Yeah, they never actually pick the person who becomes president.
But especially on the Republican side, because it's a very, evangelical group that goes to the caucuses. And it doesn't, I've said this before, I used to go to Iowa a lot. It does not represent Iowa. Yeah. Iowa is not a hick state. It's one of our richest states, as a matter of fact.
And can I just say something? I don't eat a lot of corn, okay?
Actually, you know what? You may not know you eat a lot of corn, but I bet you do and you don't even know it.
I know.
Do you eat food from the supermarket in America?
I hunt my
all
own
corn,
Zach. With my bare hands.
No, you don't. Do you think about corn when you masturbate? In China, oh, here's a question about China. Not like you're from China. No, I was looking at you.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
This jacket was made in China.
Yeah, by a 4-year-old.
Is China, with its rapid economic growth, in danger of succumbing to the same financial chicanery as we did? I doubt it, because, right, they do not have to answer to a Congress or voters.
They have a state-run bank that decides how much money they have and what they're going to do with it. We have a state-subsidized oligarchy where we give the banks money and then they take the money.
Right.
It's a different model.
Right, and Tiger Mom, you would not want to live in China.
No. No, I wouldn't want to live there.
I mean, sometimes I say things about China, and people say, well, why don't you go to move to China? I recognize that I don't want to live in China, and their system is worse than our system. I also recognize that, they do get things done. I'm not saying we should have a dictatorship, but Obama's begging for money to build like $8 billion of high-speed rail. China is building, I think, $300 billion of high-speed rail. And they turned on, like, for a long time, the argument was, well, we might as well not go green because China's polluting, and China turned on a dime and
green
said,
GDP.
Right.
Full-on GDP that evaluates based on green. I mean,
and yet, I don't want to be a party pooper, but right now China is throwing up a lot of houses. House prices are rising quite fast. And there is some hint of some of the housing bubble mania that we saw in America.
Right.
So it's not all rosy in China.
Right. Do you travel there sometimes?
Going last 2 weeks of June.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've been a couple of times, but not the last 5 years.
How's the corn there?
A lot of Chinese food is cooked with corn oil, actually.
I was there last year, and you go around some of these new cities, and you see this enormous number of tower blocks they're throwing up everywhere, and people aren't actually even living in them yet. And you've got to start asking questions about any economy that grows that fast. Is it actually sustainable?
They've got like 20 cities that are like 5 million people that we've never even heard of, right? Isn't that true?
Certainly not in Iowa.
Right. I mean, Shanghai is like you'd fit 10 New Yorks in a Shanghai, right?
It's huge.
It's like too big to, right. But I bet you can find any kind of food at 4 in the morning there. Except Chinese. Ironically.
Well, they just call it food.
That's right. Good.
It's also a great Chinatown there.
And with corn syrup, too.
Yeah. Michelle Obama had a real career before her husband ran for president. What would the reaction have been if she had decided to keep her day job, skipping all the trips, appearances, PSAs, etc.? Well, I never thought of that. I mean, she did have a real job. She worked at a hospital, right? Wasn't she a high-level administrator?
Well, she made more than Obama did.
Right.
No, I mean, look, this is what we demand this of our first ladies. But that said, I think that Michelle Obama is completely redefining the role. I mean, she is, I think, probably, one of the strongest first ladies of the last 100 years. I mean, even, and what I mean when I say that is obviously,
And also one of the hottest.
and very hot, yes. I mean, what I mean is that Hillary Clinton understood this position as a stepping stone for her political career, and that's not what, I mean, we're not going to see
Right.
Secretary of State Michelle Obama
Right.
in 10 years from now. She actually does believe that this is a role that provides her with a platform to do the kinds of things that she wants to do.
But that's an interesting question. What would have happened if Michelle
Right.
Obama said, I'm keeping my job? It's great you're
Right.
president. Congratulations. I'm psyched
Right.
for you. I'm keeping my job.
Well, in the UK, in fact, Samantha Cameron, the wife of David Cameron, Prime Minister, has done that to a degree. And actually, people have been quite accepting.
And didn't Sherry Blair keep her job? She was a lawyer, right?
Yes, she did.
I mean, you'd think it would help your job if your husband was the president. Get better meetings.
Well, it's a unique
Well, there is
opportunity.
a problem about conflicts of interest that has to be managed very carefully. But I think in the modern age, on the one hand, there's a great role for wives to play in terms of supporting public service. But at the same time, I think many people want to see that the wives actually are independent beings and not simply coming along purely in a secondary role.
Well, some people want to see that. And
Yeah.
some people
Not
are very
Republicans.
upset by it. All right. Got to go. Thank you, folks. We'll take a break for a week. We'll be back.